Thank you very much, Morana Muchipi. They're giving you your very latest in your sports news. Now let's go back to one of our top stories this weekend. The ANC in Johannesburg has new leadership. Dada Morero has been elected chairperson, beating Eunice Mlinga by just 10 votes. Voting took place overnight after a slight delay. We've got our reporter Lindokuhle Xulu, who's there, joins us now just to give us an update on those final results that have come through and the general feeling from the delegates after the conference process and the voting process took place.
Well, the delegates are so slowly trickling in back. There is still a task to undertake, and that is the election of some of the additional members for the region. But I can tell you that in the late hours of yesterday, in fact today, in the early hours of this morning, there was an election of a new leadership, a top 5 that will be taking the region of Johannesburg forward. It will be led by Dada Morero, who is in fact the former chairperson of this region. He did work with the Geoff Makubo, he worked with Jolly D. Matongo, as well as the late Mpomwerane. So he should know exactly some of the requirements that are needed in terms of taking this particular region forward. They are not in governance. There is issues in terms of some divisions within the general aspect of the party. That is the theme, in fact, for the ANC this year, to say that they must, in fact, forge unity. So those are some of the things that he himself has the task of actually undertaking as far as the region of Johannesburg is concerned. But let's just speak to him, the newly elected chairperson of the ANC in the region of Johannesburg. First of all, congratulations are in order, but let us start here speaking about the predecessors in terms of the leadership of the ANC, Chairperson Geoff Makubo and all of those that had passed away. Just talk to us about the task at hand here that needs to be achieved when you are in this position.
Good morning, and thank you very much for the opportunity. Well, the immediate task is to try and reorganize the structures in terms of preparing them for a renewal project. So we will be going back to our branches in the next 3 weeks to prepare them, give reports and tell them what our expectations and what our conference resolutions. And part of the task is to ensure that the ANC goes back into communities, remobilize our communities, take up their issues and put pressure on the current government based on the issues that our people would have given us. So as an opposition, or being in the opposition, we would ensure that we put pressure and lobby on all other issues, work with provincial and national government to ensure that the needs and demands of our communities are met. Then on the second level is to ensure that as being effective in opposition, our task is to collapse the current government and of course replace it with a progressive a government led by the ANC. So that is the task that we'll be doing in council.
Talk to us then about that. Some people might have lost trust in the ANC because of internal squabbles in many parts of the ANC, because of these court cases where corruption is ripe. What is it that the ANC will then be doing as they try to regain governance in the city of Johannesburg? What is it they'll be doing to gain the trust of the people? First of all, you are saying you're undertaking a task of going to the branches, reporting on them and telling them exactly what is expected of them. But on the other side, you have these people that are the ones that actually cast a vote in terms of the support politically when it comes to elections. Just give us a sense then, how are we regaining the trust of the people of the city of Johannesburg to say that the ANC is in fact the right party to be voted in when it comes to governance?
Well, our task now is to ensure that we regain the confidence of our people, and for us to regain the confidence of the people, it would require us to act on those issues that our people are disgruntled on. And part of those issues relates to those that have been accused of wrongdoing in the leadership of the ANC at all levels. And we are going to be very pronouncing on those issues that the party must act. And we will call on those individuals to actually withdraw and leave the party for now to allow the ANC to do its work. Now, cleaning and renewing, it's a process in itself, and it's a painful process, but it's a process that we are willing to undergo, and it must start somewhere. So it will start in Johannesburg. We will clean in Johannesburg. We'll ensure that the image of the ANC in Johannesburg is protected, and we can and raise once more the confidence of our people. As we said yesterday in our reports, that we must reclaim the love back from our people so that the ANC can become victorious in the next election.
Just a last question from myself. Some of the people that have been voted in the top 5 are actually people that were on the other slate as far as the lobby groups were concerned. Are you confident, are you happy, first of all, with the people that had been elected? But secondly, are you confident that all of you will be able to work together? Because some were lobbying for Umam Yunis to actually take over while others were lobbying for you. But it is a mix of those leaders that have now been elected. Are you going to be able to work together, and are you happy with the outcome of these elections?
Well, we are happy. We've got a responsibility to close ranks. Conference has decided on the 5 who must lead the ANC. We are not leading ourselves. We are mandated by branches of the ANC, and I would appreciate that the branches of the ANC took a decision that all 5 of you must lead, whether the others are from the other slate or what. There's no more slates now. The leadership of the ANC has been elected. Ours is to close rank, work together and implement the resolutions taken by conference.
Very quickly, are there any talks you are having with other parties when it comes to coalition in government? Some people are saying that the current government is collapsing in terms of its partners with this multi-party governance. Are you in communication? Are you communicating with other parties? Are you having discussions to actually regain governance?
Well, those discussions have always been there when I was the secretary, and we started them immediately in December, and there's progress we are making, and we are sure that in no time a new coalition would have been established of the progressives with a clear intention of redressing the damage and the collapse that has been created by the Democratic Alliance in Johannesburg.
All right, let's leave it there for now. Thank you so much. The newly elected chairperson of the Greater Johannesburg region, that is Dada Morero from the African National Congress, speaking about some of the things that they'll be doing. But first and foremost, he spoke about the fact that they'll be starting to report back to the branches about these elections, about the commissions that they are going to have in terms of sorting out issues and actually try to forge unity with this newly elected leadership. But also there is an issue of governance that they are saying they've been having talks with some coalition partners. You see there, they are going inside. There's still a task of electing the newly some additional members as far as the region is concerned. But I can tell you that in terms of that governance, they're saying conversations are already taking place in terms of forging a new government, and they are saying that the governance that is led by the DA is actually in the brink of collapse, and in no time they are predicting that they'll be in fact in governance.
Thank you very much, Lindokuhle Xulu there in Johannesburg, following those developments at the ANC conference that is currently underway.